diary. So I'ma let you read my diary.
Now let's ride. To where? To Harlem, the west side. I'll show you blocks of murals, dog, with some of the best style. Like who? Like who? Like Porter and them. I heard Poe put the order on him. Now that's more than a friend.
I believe his dope connect was coming through Boy George. But that's the only connections we have, 6 degrees of separation. I do not know this nigga.
Yo, what the deal, YouTube? No doubt indeed, man. It's your boy, man. Afghanistan black, man. Reppin' that south side, man. And you niggas know the South is the South Bronx, make no mistakes, man. Hey, yo, check this out, man. I got hit up on my DM, man. You know what I mean? And again, man, you niggas know what it is, man. I drill it to niggas all the time. If you got a question you want me to get up involved with, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up. Let me know. If I've been through the experience with the nigga, I'ma holler back. If I didn't, I'ma still holler back, niggas. And get my views, nigga. Yeah, there. And this is nothing less, man. I had a cat hit me up on my DM about 4 in the morning, man. So I was like, you know what? I'll wait for tomorrow, man, because I was gonna jump right on the vid, man, and upload one. You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, you know what? Nah, I'll wait. You know what I mean? I'ma wait, whatever, right? Basically, his story was that he had just came home and he ran into an Alpo story about Boy George, you know what I mean? And that Poe basically was saying that Boy George, he never met him before. Him and a couple of cats that was rocking with Boy George. A couple of cats that was, let me rephrase that. A couple of cats that was rocking with Boy George went to a party on First Ave. Now, if anybody from Harlem, or you know anything about Harlem, you know anything about Poe, you know anything about the East Side, you know that Poe rocks on First Avenue, right? All up in that way and shit like that there, right? So he had played back, he had told me about the story where, you know what I mean, and I listened to it. I had been heard it a while ago, but then I listened back to it to get the hieroglyphics of the shit, you know what I mean? And Poe was talking about how Boy George Peoples, you know what I mean, pulled up, and it was basically how he told the hood story about how niggas, how joints from the hood won't, you know what I mean, won't fuck with the niggas in the hood. They keep that putty on padlock, you know what I mean? The padlock putty, you know what I'm saying? The double P, right? And basically, I guess this particular chick lived in Poe and them projects, and she got down like that. She kept the double P on Poe and them niggas, and the niggas from they hood. And Boy George and them peoples came through, and they was beating it out. You know what I'm saying? They was busting it out, right? And Poe and them was like, yo, fuck that. These niggas in our hood, let's ride, you know, let's ride on these niggas. So according to Poe, they beat Boy George peoples up. You know what I mean? And basically he was saying he had never had dealings with Boy George, but he knew Boy George was getting to the bag because dope move wanted coke. And he said at Boy George's age, Boy George was getting to that bag. He had a Chinese connect. So he was getting that dog food, you know what I mean, at a decent price, right? But basically Poe was saying that's the only dealings that he ever, you know what I mean, knew about Boy George. But yet Boy George made an interview about him trying to blast him. He didn't understand why, because he had never had a dealing with him.
There's 2 delis.
So anyway, fast forward to the story, man. The more of Poe's story was that Boy George was mad at him because he got free. He even said Boy George tried to make a statement. It didn't work because the feds ain't want to hear what he was kicking. It didn't work. But for Poe it did, and Boy George was mad. Now don't get me wrong, man. I'm a uptown style all the way. I'm a Bronx and Harlem dude. You know what I mean? I've always said that. It always will be what it is. From Bronx, Afghanistan to Harlem world, it's an uptown double up thing. You already know what it is, right? So anyway, my niggas, homie asked me my opinion on the shit bang bang. Was Boy George a hater? Or is Poe capping? Poe 59 fitting? You know what I mean? I'd have to go with Boy George might have been hating a little bit, and I fucks with Boy George. Shout out to Boy George. I even did a story. I could go back into my archives from last year. I did a nice little piece on Boy George, man. You know what I mean? When I first was coming in, I gave my view on Boy George. So I fucks with Boy George. Boy George was a heck of a hustler, man. He was a young kid. He was getting that dog food at a decent price, you know what I mean? He was running it up on niggas. If you check back at Afghanistan, the boy repertoire was decent. It was reputable. He's a reputable soldier for Afghanistan. You know what I mean? So there's nothing I got against Boy George. I fucks with Boy George. But I can understand. I can understand what Poe's saying. I can understand Boy George being mad. The nigga home, whatever. And also, like I said, and Poe said in the same interview, my nigga, niggas front on me because I did snitch, whatever, right? But you can't knock my resume of what I've been through and what I put down before that. I went to jail for 14 some bodies, nigga. Yeah, I'm on my Uptown shit. I already did a piece on Boy George, you dig? Listen, man. The bottom line is this, man. I can understand why niggas be hating, man. See, it's when you got a swag and you do your thing, how you do your thing, niggas gonna hate on you regardless and look for you to fuck up. So when Poe snitched and fucked up, that was the grandiose, that was the door opening. That was the bevenitos for niggas to be like, you know what? Fuck this nigga. But niggas to me been wanted to say fuck this nigga. Cause once nigga, I understand that. Uptown niggas got impeccable swags, man. It is what it is. If Richie wouldn't have died in the manner Richie would have passed, niggas would have been hating on Rich too. If Rich would have lived long enough to tell his story. Don't let that go over your niggas' heads, man. Pause, man. If Richie would have lived long enough to tell his story, he would have been hated on too, but instead he was martyred because he was taken out early enough to where niggas ain't really have to hate. But niggas was hating even though. Afghanistan black, I tell it like the fuck it is. It's an Uptown style
So
thing.
I'ma let you read my diary.
Now let's ride to where? To Harlem, the West Side. I'll show you blocks of murals, dog, with some of the best style. Like who? Like Porter and them. I heard Poe put the order on him. Now that's more than a friend.